Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents, and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm Debrava. In today's episode of Crime and Culture Unfiltered, we'll look into the true crime story of Brandon Reisner, who brutally killed his best friend in a devastating small-town tragedy. We're going to ride along with YouTuber Dr. Insanity to look at this story through the eyes of the police and the assailant's parents. This should be interesting. Let's dive in.
This is 21-year-old Brandon Reisner, standing alongside his two parents. For the last 6 hours, Brandon has been on the run from police after brutally killing his best friend.
He's going! He jumped the fence, headed back towards Collinwood.
And as Brandon's parents learn their son is an alleged killer, all they can do is pray as they patiently wait for their son's fate.
Rachel, Jeremy, if y'all can have a seat out here. Would you like to talk in private?
On a cold November morning in 2022, a ditched Toyota Prius would be discovered by officers in Rome, Georgia.
There's nothing. That's what I was looking for. There's nothing.
Why this car was ditched in the middle of a creek is something police were yet to figure out.
Y'all don't think he's in there?
No, I didn't
Oh, okay. Son's name's Aaron Davis. Supposed to be coming to Rome to see some friends and going to Alabama to see his girlfriend.
I don't think he made it there.
Nah, I wonder where he's at. Why his car down there?
Crazy thing is, there's nothing. I mean, there was no acceleration. It's almost like it just
broke off in there or something.
Yeah. Did it go all the way up in park or something? Yeah, I mean, there's lights on like it's, but it ain't running.
I rode over here to see what was going on. He was down there changing out the trash.
A tow truck would eventually come and lift the vehicle out from the creek, and upon searching the license plate number, they would discover it belonged to 21-year-old Aaron Davis. Luckily, the town of Rome, Georgia is relatively small, and officers were already familiar with the name, so Lieutenant Sailors would give Aaron's father a call a few minutes later.
Okay. Yeah, can you see if you maybe can get a hold of him and check in with him, see where his car's supposed to be?
So you just found the car abandoned there?
Yeah, it's actually off in a little ditch. We're in the process of getting it out. I don't think there's anybody in it right now.
Aaron's car being ditched is just as much of a mystery to his father as it is for the police. However, he did have some useful details he was able to give the lieutenant following this call. The night prior to this footage, Aaron went to visit his longtime friend, Brandon Reisner. The two had been friends since middle school, and
Now that doesn't look right. Okay? Fabio over here, or whatever. Okay, Magic Mike 2. On the right? Just, I don't know. This seems off. Okay? This poor kid that's dead. In the purple shirt. Like, my God. Like, this guy looks like a lunatic. Okay? Brandon Reisner, or whatever, he looks like a lunatic. Now, look, you can't judge a book by its cover, but I'm just saying, you know, where is this going?
their friendship continued all the way through college. Aaron had just recently graduated from Brigham Young University, so his over 60-mile travel to visit Brandon was meant to celebrate the new start to adulthood. But ever since Aaron had left for Brandon's house, nobody had heard from him, and his phone would go straight to voicemail. All of these strange mysteries would lead Aaron's father to file a missing persons report, and an investigation to find Aaron would officially begin. First, and most obviously, police would give Brandon Reisner a call, as he was supposedly the last person to have been in contact with Aaron.
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Sailor's Rome Police. You doing all right today?
Yes, I am. I'm looking for my friend right now.
Yeah, that's what I was calling about. You hadn't heard from him?
I have not. I've tried calling him, and it's just gone straight to voicemail. And I heard he was at Heritage Park, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm looking around. Do you guys know where the car was?
Yeah, it was in a ditch over there. When's the last time you saw him?
I saw him last night.
About what time?
Well, we started drinking around like 12,
Uh-huh.
around noon. He started throwing up pretty bad. He told me to leave him alone. I guess I woke up around like 1 or 2 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I saw that his car was gone.
All right. Well, if y'all hear...
Does that even sound right? So when's the last time you saw him? Right away, you start talking about all this other information. Well, last time I saw him was last night. Like, we were hanging out and he went home. Like, he's going into all this grave detail about we started drinking at this time, then he started throwing up at this time, and then he left. I mean, and you know what? This kid is so stupid. Okay, Brandon, you're a dumb kid. So whatever you did here, you did in a small town to boot. Okay, not even in New York City. I mean, you're in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Okay, you're not getting away with this.
I saw that his car was gone.
All right. Well, if y'all hear from him, let us know, okay?
Yeah, thank you for the help, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
Brandon's story made complete sense, and he even claimed to be actively looking for Aaron at the time of the phone call, as any good friend would do. It seemed like Brandon was clearly the person they needed to speak to further in order to get to the bottom of Aaron's disappearance. So a few hours later, they showed up, unannounced, at Brandon's house to get more answers about what happened the night before, this time face to face.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Officer Gar with the Rome Police Department. We're following up on all this. Can you walk me through what's going on? Just make sure we're all on the same page.
We started drinking around 12.
Look at his body language before he gets into this, okay? He comes out, he's standing here. Now he's crossing his legs. I mean, let me just, if my best friend that I'd known from birth, probably, right? All through school, you come home, you see whatever, right? If my best friend went missing, would I just be like, yeah, she came over, we did a makeup tutorial, went to Sephora, and then she went to see some guy, and yeah, that was it. I would be like, what do you mean? Where is she? Did you find the car? No. Listen, she came here. We went to Sephora. Like he's just like, yeah, came over here, started drinking, I mean, this is somebody you've known your whole life that's missing and the police show up and you're not hysterical? Even in a masculine way? Something's wrong.
Make sure we're all on the same page.
We started drinking around 12 yesterday.
Yeah, it's you and Aaron, right?
Yeah, me and Aaron.
Okay. Anyone else with you guys?
And went to bars, and I had bought some red wine.
Yeah.
And
He's drinking red wine. Okay, was he in love with this guy? Is that what's going on here? Like, what is this? Something's not right.
came back here, started drinking red wine. He doesn't drink too often, so he had gone upstairs and was just puking everywhere to the toilet. It was like standing up and puking for some reason. And I went downstairs and he told me that he doesn't need any help. I went downstairs, dropped a bottle, cut my pinky, and I went to the urgent care this morning.
You dropped a bottle and cut your pinky and went to urgent care this morning? Mm-hmm. Sure.
Morning, took a shower, went to bed.
Okay.
And then woke up 1 to 2 a.m. and his car's gone.
Despite Brandon's strange demeanor, Aaron's actions last night connect with the ditched car and lack of response for the last 12 hours. If Aaron was a light drinker and got heavily intoxicated, who knows what he could have done while completely by himself.
So, how long have you and Aaron been friends?
We met when I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
And then we became more like close friends, I'd say, like around freshman year.
We're still trying to find him. I don't know. You know, he may just be staying at a hotel, sleeping off whatever happened last night.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean he's in danger or anything like that. You have any problem with us?
Smart cops. Smart cops. Now, you know something's wrong. You know he's dead. You know something is severely wrong. His car is in a ditch. Why would his car be in a ditch? If he got through throwing up all of the alcohol, okay, he's probably like sobered up by that point. So why is his car in a ditch? Timeline doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you have any problem with us checking inside the house? No. No problem at all? No ferocious iguanas or anything? You never know, man. People have all kinds of pets.
The officer would search the house and find some interesting discoveries. Several doors would be locked, specifically the door leading to Aaron's room, where he supposedly threw up several times. This was strange, so Brandon would be called inside to help get them up to Aaron's room.
Do you mind coming in here with me so you can just show me where I'm going and all that? Yeah. Just makes it a little bit easier. The bathroom is up there that he was up checking in. I got you. Oh, Lord. Is that what's in the laundry right now, I guess? Okay.
Officers would notice.
Now, does this guy look like somebody that would be doing laundry? Okay, no, he'd be, you saw his mother and father, right? No, he'd be waiting for his mama to come home and do the cleaning for him. He's doing laundry? Another red flag.
Officers would notice a strong chemical smell coming from the room and find excessive amounts of cleaning supplies. But all of that would mean nothing compared to what they found next.
There's a significant amount of blood next to the bed, too. Decent. More than just vomit all the way over here. Looks like it's been there a while, but he could have been throwing up blood, I guess. See all that? It's weird to be throwing up blood like that. Not to mention, if he had alcohol poisoning, he wouldn't have been able to get up and move around this morning. Especially at 2 or 3 in the morning. He's poured powder right there, too.
That's it right now.
The cops are starting to find the whole scenario awfully suspicious. The odd story from Brandon, the puddles of blood in Aaron's room, the hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies. It seems as though Brandon sensed the officer's suspicion arising as well, as when Aaron's room was being searched, he decided to do this.
Oh, my knees. Keep going. Hey, no, quick. Now.
These cops are out here chasing an athlete. This kid was probably the quarterback on the football team or something, and you know, lacrosse, whatever. And they think they're going to catch him. I'm going to go with no.
He jumped the fence, headed back towards Collinwood.
Somewhere between LaPorte and East 9, gotta be in these houses. Go up to the house, get in the backyard. Okay. Possible 1043 suspect.
Head back towards Collinwood. Run back towards 8.
Give me more units.
Unfortunately, officers lost sight of Brandon. He officially managed to escape the police, at least for now. Desperate for any leads that might aid in finding Brandon, police began going door to door around the neighborhood, questioning witnesses who might have caught a glimpse of where he had fled. During this effort, one officer encountered a neighbor who happened to be on a call with Brandon's father.
Now, here's the thing. Now, clearly, she's probably hiding him or helping, right? But here's the thing. These cops made a huge mistake. So you've got all the body language you could possibly ask for, showing that he's guilty of something, okay? You have a missing boy, which it seems out of character for this kid. His story, he's got a cut on his finger, right? And a car in a ditch with a missing kid. And you aren't watching him one-on-one? There isn't a one-to-one going on here? So you just let him sit off in the corner, not thinking that he's going to run outside the house and get in your cop car and take off anything? Like, that's a huge mistake on these police officers' part. Huge.
Jeremy. Quickly, the officer took the phone to speak with him directly.
Hey, sir, I'm Lieutenant Sailor from police.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Reisner, the homeowner,
Yes,
and
sir.
my Brandon's father.
Yeah, we're probably going to need to talk to Brendan. Do you know where he is?
No, I thought he was still at home. Now, earlier we had told him maybe drive around the areas where they normally hang out and try to look for him, for Aaron. We'll keep trying to get hold of him. We're still about an hour away, working our way there.
Even Jeremy was clueless regarding Brandon's whereabouts, and seemingly so was everyone else, as an entire hour would go by with Brandon nowhere to be found.
I am.
Okay.
This is Mom.
Okay. Sorry, I realize you might not be able to answer this question. Probably don't know the answer, but I'll try. Is there suspicion that Brandon is involved in hurting Aaron or something? There's suspicion of something happening in the home. Beyond getting drunk and throwing up? Well, we don't know. They're lifelong friends. We called back after the boy's mom called us. We called back and said, when did you last see Aaron? He says, I guess he left during the night. That's all we did. He went to look for him where the car was reported.
Yes.
Now, hold on here. Now, you know, parents are going to lie for their children, right? I mean, I'm curious. They were in the house. Now, there's blood all over the floor. And you're telling me the parents don't know about this? So somebody was killed. And there's obviously some kind of struggle. This one's got a cut on his hand. And the house smells like bleach. And you don't realize something happened? They were an hour away. So were they not in the house at all? Since this, I'm just curious. Or are they saying they were not in the house? I guess we'll find out, right?
The powers that be have our number?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While trying his best to assist the police with the investigation, Jeremy would return to his house, where he discovered Brandon's phone. Up until that point, Jeremy had been doing everything he could to help the police track down his son. However, after finding the phone, his cooperation came to a sudden stop. He refused to hand the phone over, leaving police to wonder, had he seen something on it? Or was he hiding something far more unsettling? Let's get back to Jeremy, who would go on to discover Brandon's phone while searching around the house. This was a huge discovery for the investigation, as it could help trace where Brandon could have gone off to. But unfortunately, Jeremy was unwilling to give up the phone to cops until he could better understand the situation. After all, Brandon is his son, and he is innocent until proven guilty. So giving up the phone could be a tragic mistake. Again, hours go by with no further leads or clues as to where Brandon went. What Jeremy managed to find on Brandon's phone during this period will forever remain a mystery. However, when police spoke to him again, his demeanor would shift dramatically.
What's the status? All right, so first of all, I understand you found his cell phone. That's right. You want to turn that over to us? Maybe. Okay.
I do. My gut says yes, but at the same time,
Yeah, I mean, we
I don't know.
we'll probably need to go through it and see.
Why would you not turn over the phone? The only reason you wouldn't turn over the phone is because you realize your son did something. Okay? If you're just looking for your son's friend, why wouldn't you give the phone to the police? I mean, if nothing happened and you didn't think anything happened, he could have just ran off, got in the car, and left his phone in the house. Couldn't he have? Think about it. Driven into a ditch and drowned. I mean, but something's on that phone. That makes no sense, right? I mean,
At least maybe where he's been today. There is a significant amount of blood in that upstairs bedroom on the carpet. But I wanted to be straight up with you.
actually, he talked to a lawyer. He probably talked to a lawyer by this point. He probably talked to a lawyer that said, do not hand that phone over. It's not a smart move. That's my guess.
Got to home fine. Okay. I appreciate that. Do you have a warrant that would include the phone? No, we'd have to get one at some point. So we couldn't go into it without that. So some text back and forth.
maybe something helps. And
I know.
See them, But I can't promise you that. 'Cause I don't.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't know what all's in there. So
I want to. I just,
I know, as a father, I understand. But
all right. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep walking.
Something had changed. Whatever was on that phone had to be disturbing, and the officer seemed to have caught on to this as well.
Because he doesn't know what's going on. But he seemed a little shocked that we're at his house. He seemed respectful in the sense that he was okay with us being at his house and doing what we needed to do. I couldn't really get a feel for him. He may just be covering for his kid. He's gotta be. Him having the phone not being shattered tells me that his son handed it to him. So he found the phone, tells us that he found the phone, but doesn't want to give it to us without searching it.
Text messages not there.
Probably. He was telling Reddit that they were texting him asking for if anyone had seen Aaron. I wonder if those texts were sent since we've been here, though.
These officers were spot on with their theory. On the phone, Brandon would leave an array of horrifying notes, such as, his scream became a gargle as he swallowed his tongue. I like dark places where my mind melts. It feels so good and I feel so cool. My brain's a waterfall running out of my nose like drool. I can turn myself on in the blink of an eye. They notified me as the smartest man alive. Additionally, he would leave a to-do list following the murder of Aaron. 1. Schedule last 3 songs. This was in reference to his YouTube channel where he would post his music. 2.
Oh my God. What'd I tell you? I knew he was some kind of model, singer, YouTube, whatever. He wants to be a star. This is so disturbing. Let me roll it back. Oh my God. What an idiot. He actually made notes.
Where he would post his music. 2. Vacuum. 3. Laundry. 4. Shower in my shower. 5. Take bath. Tomorrow. 1. Text Rachel that Aaron threw up horribly. I think there was some blood in it. 2. I woke up and he was gone. Whether or not these exact messages were what alarmed Jeremy is unknown, but something on that phone made it clear to him that Brandon had killed Aaron. And just an hour later, Jeremy would call police, detailing that he was with Brandon and that he was willing to surrender and turn himself in. So 25 minutes later, Brandon and his parents would arrive at the station.
You're Brandon. Rachel. Jeremy. Thank you.
Now, look at this mother, right? Now, you know what that's the look of? The look of, I knew my son was a psychopath and I did nothing about it. Okay? You don't just discover something like this. You know. There's probably a laundry list of signs, okay, from when he was like 5 years old up until now, that something was not right with this kid. You understand?
Rachel, Jeremy, y'all can have a seat out here. I'm gonna run back there, and we'll talk, man. Would you like to talk in private?
You need to send somebody out to find the body.
Okay. I'll be right back out with you, okay?
I don't know how I feel about that. I really just don't. Wow. I understand that parents, but wow. Like sometimes people are monsters. Your children are not. It's like, whew, this is crazy.
Anything in your pockets that I need to know about?
Notice the mother didn't hug him. Yeah, mother's instinct, but you didn't do anything about it, did you? Clearly. Because if you had done something about it, like got the guy help, okay, you wouldn't be here right now at the police station. with, your son who just murdered his best friend. Real sad.
Wallet and keys.
Those real quick. Anything else?
No.
Sorry about that. Go ahead and have a seat.
Now that Brandon was secured, the detective would sit him down to try and get a basic confession or any information that might ease the path to conviction.
All right, like I said.
I'm shocked the parents are letting him sit down here without a lawyer. I'm shocked.
All right, like I said, I'm Detective York. I work here at the wrong PD, of course. Detective York, yep, that's me. So before we get started, got some paperwork you gotta fill out.
The detective would start the interview by getting Brandon's basic information and contact addresses.
So I'm gonna read you some stuff before we get started, okay? You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you are asked questions and have him with you during questioning.
I would like a lawyer.
You would like a lawyer, okay? All right, sit tight for just a minute.
Brandon was smart. He knows nothing he says in the interrogation room will go on to help him in court, so he decides to keep his mouth shut. While this is unfortunate for the detective, Brandon's parents are more than willing to have a discussion with him, so instead, he turns his attention over to them to try and get the information that he's looking for.
His mother is shell-shocked. Look at this. Just look at her. She'll never, ever, obviously, be the same again. This poor woman. This poor woman. Because you know what's going through her mind? Every sign that boy gave her that she ignored. Sorry.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on right now. The only thing that we can do is go right now.
Thank you, Brian. I can take you out. Try to show you. I can try to show you.
You can try to show us
The general area, yeah.
Okay.
There's an old cemetery. Up the hill. You turn left. Trendle, something like Trendle.
Okay.
Now, is he making it clear that his son told him this? Or is he incriminating himself right now? Like, did the parents know and did this father know and help him with? Like, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, this can get real ugly in a real hot second.
Trendle, something like Trendle.
Okay.
We can show you all that.
This statement from Jeremy was crucial information to track down Aaron's body. But as valuable as this information is, the detective recognized the importance of capitalizing on the opportunity to gather as much from Jeremy as possible while he remained cooperative. With this in mind, he shifted his focus to delving deeper into Brandon's personal life before turning to search for the body.
Yeah, because you already know he's dead. So it's pretty, I feel that's smart. It's a smart move on that. Cop, oh my God.
Brandon had brought him home from college because he was having anxiety attacks, he was having suicidal thoughts, he was having visions. Brought him home to make him safe.
Like I said, this father is talking up a storm. Like, they should be waiting for the lawyer too. So your son, who's a psychopath, could be a sociopath, depending on if something happened to him to make him this way, or, turn him into a murderer, or if he was born one. Clearly, he's smart enough to know that he's not saying a word until he gets a lawyer. But the parents are over here just talking up a storm. I'm just wondering, like, they could incriminate themselves even if they didn't really do anything. You know what I mean?
He was having anxiety attacks, he was having suicidal thoughts, he was having visions. Brought him home to make.
Bring this back. Okay, Brandon, we brought him home from college. Okay,
Or turning to search for the body.
Here.
Brandon had brought him home from college because he was having anxiety attacks, he was having suicidal thoughts, he was having visions. Brought him home to make him safe. I get his medications right. Got a call from Brandon this morning around 9 or 10. He was asked to go down. One thing out. So they had a drink. He didn't want Dad finding out that he was vomiting upstairs in the carpet. That's all we heard. And then an hour or two goes by. Boy's mom calls us. All right, called Brandon back on the meeting after camp. So, do you know where Aaron is? He says, well, yeah, they're around 5. And we were told Aaron had run away. Ran from the house, ran from the police. His body is luckily there. He's mentally unstable. He has Tourette's since he was a kid, diagnosed as a kid. And with that comes OCD, and people say they have OCD all the time. They don't understand. And so they live with that.
This raises the possibility that his actions may have been influenced by mental instability. However, it's important to consider the context. Jeremy's statements could be an attempt to have Brandon plead insanity in court. Therefore, it's essential to approach these claims with a grain of salt, as they may not fully reflect the reality of the situation. Regardless, police now had an approximate location of where Aaron's body should be, so all hands went on deck to search the cemetery Jeremy had described.
See, now hold on. Now, he has Tourette's, okay? Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical profession, but I know a little bit about it. I know that Tourette's, I don't think, is a mental thing. Okay? It's a whole different type of disease. But, in other words, you're not schizophrenic just because you have Tourette's. You don't have multiple personalities because you have Tourette's. It's a motor tic. Okay? Now, a lot of these medications they give people who have Tourette's, like phenobarbital, Seroquel, and Halidol, all these antipsychotics, in my opinion, can make you nuts. They can make you hallucinate. I mean, some of these medications just say it can make you hallucinate. You know, I know somebody that has Tourette's. It's the only reason why I know this. So, I mean, this is actually extremely sad. This is extremely sad. Because if this is the result of somebody having Tourette's, right? And our, medical industry, the big pharma, these doctors are giving him a bunch of antipsychotics, which are making him have suicidal thoughts, which, to control the tics, right? And he ends up murdering somebody. Who's responsible here?
Aaron was found buried in the cemetery, behind a secluded area in the back of the property. Even worse was that his body was wrapped inside the very sheets he slept on in Brandon's house. The speculation had come to an end. Brandon Reisner was a cold-blooded murderer. Right after this discovery, Brandon was placed under arrest for the murder of Aaron Davis and transported to the local prison. But the cops found his behavior very unconventional.
Stand right there. Go.
Go up to the counter, let them follow their instructions. This is his property. You got ID in here if you want. For me? No, we're talking to him. Oh. You got your ID in there. Oh, yeah.
Officers stated that Brandon remained eerily calm while being transported and seemed completely unfazed by the entire situation. And while Brandon had been successfully captured and the case had seemingly came to a successful conclusion, officers had one tragic duty to complete before the end of the day. Break the news to Aaron's parents that their son had been murdered.
Any questions? Here?
Yep. I don't know a whole lot because I'm not been here doing all the research.
Be specific.
Why would he do this? Why you do that? We need my son. The family needs him. Oh my God.
Aaron was a recent college graduate and a good kid with a bright future ahead of him. His sudden death is nothing short of an evil, horrifying act on Brandon's behalf, and justice had to be served for Aaron's and his family's sake. That justice would come inside the courtroom. On July 18th, 2024, Brandon was left with little to no defense for his crimes, and his plea to claim mental insanity was quickly ruled out.
And I have come to the conclusion that justice requires that Mr. Reisner be sentenced on count 1 to imprisonment for life without parole. And that's what I'm going to do.
He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to the murder and mutilation of Aaron Davis.
That was disturbing. How sad. There are so many things wrong in this world. Okay? And one thing I'll say, he could have been born, he could be a psychopath, born this way. He could be a sociopath, but he also could have become insane due to the pharmaceuticals that they had him on, these drugs. Okay, why are you trying to cure something like Tourette's with an antipsychotic? Like, is there no better way? Like, I mean, if that's the case, that is. I have no words, but I hope to God that RFK does something with Big Pharma. Because this entire situation, especially in this country, with all this pharmaceutical crap that they're shoving down everyone's throats for everybody. I mean, how? Like, you have 9 and 10-year-olds on Adderall. I mean, for what? You're 9, you're 10. You're a boy. You want to throw balls and do stuff. I mean, this is out of control. Out of control. So sad. Oh my God. I'm literally sick to my stomach. How sad. And wow, what a future that kid had. How sad for his family. God help his family. Be careful who you hang around with. And you know what? It's so disturbing because you can just sense that Brandon, the murderer, right? His friend literally he probably knew something was wrong with him clearly and just felt sorry for him and was trying to be nice, trying to be a good friend. So sad. All right. Well, that's today's episode of Crime and Culture Unfiltered. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Take care.